Everyone's talking about Spider-Man finally joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In a related story, Andrew Garfield will be our new co-host.
Oh my God!
Oh, no!
He's not really gonna do that,
No, he's not.
Meanwhile, we're talking about Jessica Jones. Welcome to Meanwhile, the show that introduces you to the world of comics and connects it to the shows and games you already know and love. My name's Nathan Fodre. Let's get started. As Marvel's second Netflix series, aka Jessica Jones, has been cast and is underway, we realize that the first question that pops into most people's mind is, who the hell is Jessica Jones? So, we thought we'd take a look at one of Marvel's most complex characters and one of my favorites, the private detective and retired superhero, Jessica Jones. Jessica debuted in Alias #1, an original series created by Brian Michael Bendis for Marvel's Max universe. The Max comic line was set up to tell stories with mature subject matter and is an age-restricted line. So, be aware, we're gonna have a Max version of the episode today.
No, we're not.
Really? Because I was looking forward to saying Pinecone. Jessica Jones was originally Jessica Campbell, a teenager from Queens who went to Midtown High and had a big crush on some boy named Peter Parker. In fact, she almost talked to him one day on a field trip, but he got bit by some stupid spider.
Stupid spider.
Of course, she's Spider-Man.
One day, as she was riding in the car with her family and making trouble in the back seat with her brother, her dad turned back to yell at her and tell her that he was gonna pull this car over, and then he crashed into an army truck carrying radioactive materials, and the car burst into flames and they all died.
That is the saddest thing.
Except Jessica. She went into a coma for months, and when she woke up, she was adopted by the Jones family and returned to Queens, where she discovered she could fly and was super strong and pretty invulnerable. After witnessing a battle between Spider-Man and Sandman, she was inspired to become a superhero, taking up the name Jewel. So far, so good.
That's not good at all. That's the most tragic backstory I've ever heard.
It gets worse. Turns out she's not really cut out for much more than fighting robbers. And after operating a few months, she encounters the supervillain, the Purple Man, and things go horribly wrong. The Purple Man uses his mind control powers to kidnap her and hold her hostage for months. One day, he tells her to kill his enemy Daredevil, and that's when she accidentally picks a fight with the Avengers and gets beaten into another coma. After she wakes up, she's pretty rightfully suffering from PTSD and decides to retire from the superhero biz and open up her own private detective agency, Alias Investigations.
Is that anything like that Jennifer Gardner show, Alias?
Just like that, but not at all. But when you're a hero, quitting is often not in the cards. Jessica does her best to hide out drinking and chain smoking her way through her pain. Unfortunately, because of her former connections to the superhuman community, most of her cases end up revolving around the weird and superhuman. So every time she tries to get out, they keep pulling her back in. Along the way, she slowly finds herself working through her pain and even developing a relationship with Power Man Luke Cage.
Oh!
Meanwhile, Max.
Alias, Volume 1 Ultimate Collection by Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Gaydos. This is the definitive place to start with the character, and one of my personal favorite books. When we first meet Jessica, she is struggling to keep hope alive in her dark corner of the world. The story begins with a simple missing person case that leads to a conspiracy to out Captain America's secret identity. The plot is pretty simple, but it is the character that really takes center stage. Bendis is renowned for his realistic dialogue, and seeing as this is a Max book, there are no limitations to what he can say. You're gonna want to pick up Volume 2 as soon as you're done. I'm just saying.
All right, let's go.
Okay, let's get it!
Guys, I want Volume 2 also.
The Pulse, Volume 1, Thin Air by Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Bagley. Most Max books are considered a separate universe, but Jessica's series Alias is an exception, considered part of the regular 616 Marvel universe. The Pulse starts with Jessica taking a job working at the Daily Bugle newspaper as a superhero consultant on their new insert, The Pulse. Almost immediately, she's involved in a murder investigation of one of her fellow reporters that leads back to one of the major villains of the Marvel Universe. This book continues Jessica's journey of personal redemption begun in Alias, and as a result, the tone is a little bit lighter, and the adult themes and content are lessened. And no F-bombs, so that's good.
Woo!
How is that good?
Chris, woo!
Woo!
Right now, you can find Jess in the pages of Captain America and the Mighty Avengers, which is just wrapping up its Axis storyline with issue number 4. Axis is a Marvel event that saw heroes and villains having their personalities shifted. Now, moving forward, it's likely that she'll pop up in either A-Force, Marvel's new all-female team of Avengers, or Mark Waid's S.H.I.E.L.D. series, both starting out as Secret Wars this May 2015. Keep an eye on both of these titles when Marvel releases some more information about them. Now that you know where to start with Jessica Jones, be sure to subscribe so that you know when next Thursday comes around you won't miss the next episode of Meanwhile. And leave any story suggestions that you have in the comments section below. And meanwhile, we're exposing me to radioactive material so I can gain superpowers!
That's a terrible idea.
Oh my god!
I think it worked.
No, it didn't. And meanwhile,
I will be punching unicorn.
Really?
I have
Unicorns?
panic. I am
No.
panicking. I don't know what to do. Why am I on screen?
Guys, I feel better!